What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the podcast about nothing. We are your hosts. I'm the plus size assassin.
I'm Pingo.
And we back, son. Consistency, bro.
At its finest.
So we mentioned last week that there was 2 topics that we had gotten requested. So we about to do the second topic, which is my experience living in San Francisco compared to LA.
So does that mean I gotta act like a host and interview?
I guess you can.
Alright. I'm gonna throw questions off the top of my head.
Let it rip off the top of the dome. Not yet, hold on.
Oh.
Gotta mentally prepare myself for some stupid ass questions.
And finish your M&Ms.
Yeah, I also have an M&M, so.
You ready yet, princess?
No, not yet. Fuck you, asshole. Okay. Wait. I want to start off by saying that I had a very good time in San Francisco. I met a lot of dope ass people.
That's how you know it's gonna go bad. It's like before I get I just want to say there was some good.
So let me fucking get through this shit. Okay. I had some really good times. I met some really fucking dope ass people. But I would never fucking live there again.
All right, wrap it up. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So when and why did you move to San Francisco?
Okay, I moved to San Francisco 2017, August 2017. And I moved up there to go to school, San Francisco State.
To study?
Accounting.
Okay. When you went up there, what was your first initial, I guess, like plan or like outlook on what you wanted to accomplish, how you wanted to accomplish it while you were up there? How long did you expect to be up there?
I mean, honestly, I was like, I don't know why the fuck I'm doing this, but I gotta go finish school and I want to go and come back and get the fuck out of there. Like, it was just quick. Like, I'm just going to school to finish this shit and that's it. And that's pretty much what I did. I just finished school and I brought my ass back down to LA.
Okay. Had you been to San Francisco previous to moving there?
Prior to moving there?
Prior to moving there.
Yeah, I had visited before. It wasn't like a memorable trip, I guess, but I had been before.
What was your first impressions on the city? Like your first, let's say, like 2 months. What did you like? What was tough about getting used to the city? What did you like about like being in a new city, being on your own? First, like couple months.
All right, so I was not happy about moving out there.
Okay.
Like, I did not want to go. I thought, fuck this shit. Like, I have everything down here. I had a decent job. I liked what I did. Obviously, all the homies are down here. I had my girl down here. Like, I didn't want to go up there at all.
Oh.
So the first, I want to say like 6 months, because like that first semester, I didn't want to do shit. Like, I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to explore the city. I wanted nothing to do with that fucking place. I was like, fuck this. I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
It also didn't help that obviously it was like fall session. So you had Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's like coming up. And then you're just like, am I going to make it home? Am I not?
Yeah.
So the first 2 months, I hated the place. I was like, fuck this shit. I went to school, I went to work, and I came back. That was really it. I had gone out a couple times because my landlords were really fucking awesome. And so they're like, come on, we're going to take you out. Like, I think the first weekend. I want to say like the first weekend that I had moved up there.
Oh.
My landlord's cousin was visiting, and my other housemate was bringing stuff over because he was gonna move in. And she was talking to her cousin, and she goes, "Hey, let's go out." And the housemate goes, "Yeah, let's go." And she looks at me. I had spent obviously that week already, so I was like kind of cool with them. I was starting to interact with them. Yeah, build a little rapport with them. And she looks at me like, "Are you down?" And I'm like, "I thought you were talking to her." And she goes, "I was." And I go, "Well, he's down. She's down." I was like, "Well, I mean, I'm not gonna bitch out. Let's go. Yeah. Fuck it." So that was my first like real outing.
Wow.
And I thought the city was pretty cool, but also it was dark. So later on, I realized this shit ugly. I was like, this was not a good neighborhood. But after that initial like not wanting to do shit, I went out, and like the city's pretty cool.
Okay,
like it's nice.
So you talked about obviously landlord. So obviously you lived with somebody. What is your like? How is the lifestyle there? How do most people live? Houses, apartments, and so explain how you were living and how it compared to normal.
Okay, that shit is very different to LA in that aspect. So I think of it very East Coast style, and because you've been there. Mm-hmm. But I always say it's like the East Coast on the West Coast. What I mean by that is the houses go straight up. Like they're all right next to each other and they go straight up. There's no space in between homes like there is here. There's no yards, really. Like I don't think I saw a house with a front yard at all. And you're just like right up next to each other. So obviously, if you should know by now, San Francisco is a very fucking expensive place to live. So I lived in a room inside of a family's home. So they had a 3-story house. Their room and their kids' room was on the top. The middle floor was the living room, the kitchen, and it had a room there. And then the first floor was my room. So that's really how all the houses go. They're really like tall houses instead of wide, and you don't have much space. It's nice, but yeah, you don't really have a yard.
So I went to go see you a couple times, and I remember the first time I went with you when we went to go visit the place. But I don't think it hit me then. But when I went to go see you, it was so weird because you go in through the front door, and like there's nothing. Yeah, it's like a little tiny hallway, and at the end of the hallway it was your room. So like there was that, but then like anything else was on the top. So like you wanted to get to like obviously if you live there, like to your room or to the kitchen or anything, like you had to go all the way to the top. Like,
well, it's not all the way to the top. It was the next floor.
But like it was just weird seeing it like usually,
the layout.
You walk in and like everything's there, you know?
Yeah.
It's like here's like you had to go to the top to fucking
to the middle
to fucking get what you had to go.
What I did like was that because you're not, I guess, like at ground level, you had a really dope view from the living room.
Yeah, that was true. You had a pretty good view. Mm-hmm. And you said it reminded you of the East Coast. It reminded me of like Mexico City too, where all the houses are just like crammed in next to each other, like no space whatsoever. Yeah. Just like all you see is houses on houses on houses.
Well, I said the East Coast too because there's in the East Coast there's bodegas, where like you basically get everything you need and like food and shit too. Get that shit the Aki way. And in San Francisco, it's very similar. So I had a liquor store. So I lived on the top of a hill. So at the bottom of that hill, like the next street down, I was on like the very incline. So like at the highest fucking peak. So if you go down the next street, there was a liquor store that used to sell food there, but they stopped. But it's like that in a lot of those like little communities. Your liquor store sells sandwiches, and they're fucking bomb. I miss that shit for sure. Like I used to go down to the liquor store, and my favorite pizza out there was in a liquor store. Oh, shit. So I used to like phone in an order. I'm like, yo, let me get whatever, and then I show up. My pizza's ready. I grab a little 6-pack or some tall cans, and there's like chips and what do you need? You need like fucking toilet paper. You need fucking fruits and vegetables. They got them right there. Like that shit was fucking dope. And I'm just like, we don't got this shit in LA.
Yeah.
And then another liquor store was some of my favorite sandwiches. Like, you know, you fucking order your sandwich and they got like coffee, chips, and snacks and shit, and you're just like, all right, fucking, you know, I'm set. I got my sandwich, I got my little snacks for later, and we good. I love that shit. We're also, because we're on the topic of liquor stores, one of my favorite fucking things about this shit, about San Francisco and the Bay Area in general, is you go to a liquor store and they have pre-packaged drinks. So, let's say you want an adios. No. Right? So they'll have little bottles and the mixers in a baggie, like a Ziploc bag. You take that shit to the counter. They give you a cup. You open the ice chest and you put your ice in it. And you purchase your drink like that.
Oh, shit.
So they have a ton of different drinks, and you just pick whichever one you want. They're already Ziplocked for you, like whatever alcohol and mixer you need. You go to the front, they give you the cup, you scoop up your ice, and you're fucking ready to go.
Is this at like any, like all, not all liquor stores, but like at any liquor store, or is it like certain ones? Like
it was at every liquor store that I went to. Like it has to be like a legit liquor store though. Like you're going to buy a bottle of Henny or some shit.
Okay.
They'll have like Hennessy and tequila and apple juice, or like whatever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll put it and they'll have it in a little Ziploc bag. They'll write the name of the drink and then the price, and that's how you take that shit up. You get your cup, you get your ice, and you're fucking set to go. That had to be one of my favorite fucking things, and I don't know why we don't do it here.
Of course, because you're a fucking alcoholic.
Call it what you like, bro. That shit was fucking dope. You know what? Business idea. I'm gonna open up a fucking liquor store.
Well, they just stole your business idea. Somebody out there.
Not in LA.
How was commuting?
Horrible.
In the city, as far as like going to school, going to work, going back home, like talk about that you did.
Okay. So I lived fairly close to school because I lived on the outskirts of San Francisco.
You didn't live in San Francisco? Just saying. I saw TikTok on it and they were talking shit.
Okay, I lived in Daly City, which is legit right outside of San Francisco, because I think if you cross after the houses, if you cross over that street, then
that's San Francisco.
Yeah. It's like here, we cross over the Bell. Yeah. So I technically didn't live in San Francisco. It was Daly City, but I lived close to school and close to one of my jobs. So commuting there, not too bad. My other job was across the street from AT&T Park where the Giants play. Fuck no. Just fuck no. One, there's no parking anywhere. if you're going into San Francisco, good luck finding parking. And also, there's just a shit ton of traffic. So people complain about LA traffic and like you're stuck in traffic and I don't know what. Try San Francisco. That shit is so fucking congested. It's such a small city with so many people in it that it's impossible not to be in traffic if you're going in there. Like if you're on the outskirts, you're fine, and parking is still a bitch. But if you're in San Francisco, any of like the downtown area, fucking terrible.
Facts. It's kind of getting away from San Francisco, but how was it financially being on your own?
I mean, obviously it was tough because it's so expensive. Like I said, I was in a room in somebody's home. I was still paying like $1,100, and that's really fucking cheap. Like anybody that I talked to and shit was like, wow, dude, that's a fucking steal. And you're talking about living in somebody's house. Like you're just renting a room in their house. But it's expensive. So I had 2 jobs throughout my time there. Plus I had loans. So
that's how you got through.
That's how I got through. Like my loans were basically to cover while I was in school, so like 6 months, but then you have 2 months between breaks and you're just like, well, you better plan that shit out. Plus your loans don't cover food and like basic house necessities and your gas, so you're just like, well, fuck. You better budget the fuck out of that shit. And yeah, that shit was tough. I mean, it was hard because like you're basically getting paid what's a minimum wage out there, and shit's a lot more expensive.
Yeah. So
yeah, I had 2 jobs. At one point I was going in at like 5:30 in the morning, get off, go home, change, barely grab something to eat, and then I had to Uber to my other job because I couldn't park over there, so I'd have to Uber. So I'd have to leave earlier, get there, and then I'm not getting out of there sometimes till like midnight. So it was like basically working all day. Yeah, I had like 4 hours of rest. Oh, and then you have to Uber back home, so you know, it's taking forever. You have to get your shit ready and go back to fucking work the next day.
Okay. So this is kind of interesting to me, but obviously you talked and had interactions with people who were born and raised in San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
How were, like, it's maybe gonna sound weird, but how did they come up, like, grow up differently than how you grew up here in LA? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, were there certain differences that, like, something that stood out to you?
Between how people grew up?
Yeah, like, between how people were raised, I guess. Or, like, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like, how you would...
Something that maybe is, like, weird for you that's normal for them, or vice versa.
I don't know. Everything's fucking weird to me. I don't think there's a big difference as far as like Bay Area to LA. As far as how you grew up, what about like,
I guess like the culture then of the cities?
I mean, the real big difference that I saw or that I noticed is like here you're sectioned off into sort of like cultural spots, I guess. Like you're in a really big Latin American community, and then you go farther out and you're like, it's very white, and then you get pockets of like Asian and whatever, like specifically like you have Japanese area, Korean area, shit like that. Whereas out there it was a little bit more mixed. So like even though it was like the Mission, which is supposed to be the very Hispanic area of the city, there was still a lot of different ethnicities blended in. So like you grew up around different ethnicities compared to like out here.
Okay.
And also like the obviously slang and language and style, like the way that shit's different.
Okay. Now, like, how was like, and did you enjoy like the nightlife, the events, concerts, sports, like compared to LA?
Concerts, I don't think I went to any out there. I went to a comedy show, which was cool as fuck because that was the first time I'd ever gone to a comedy show. Nightlife, I mean, it's fairly similar to like what you get here in LA. You got your bars, your clubs, shit like that. Pretty standard. Sporting events. Well, I went to a bunch of Giants games just because I worked across the street, so I would go all the time. I think, and I'm pretty sure I've said it on here before, Dodger Stadium's just a different beast.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's crazy. So, to go to a Giants game, they're much more calm. I would say it's in between of Angel Stadium and Dodger Stadium. Like, it's much more calm, but they're calm. Well, okay, it's much more calm than Dodger Stadium, but it's far more passionate than Angel Stadium.
Yeah.
Night games suck. So summertime does not exist in San Francisco. It'll be the middle of baseball season in the summertime, and it is fucking raining, which is not cool. You get the mist coming in, you get the cloud coverage coming in. That shit fucking sucks. They're selling hot chocolate. Like, the vendors go up and down selling hot chocolate because it's cold as shit. But it was fun. I went to Oakland, the Oakland Coliseum too.
Oh.
So I would much rather prefer Oakland than San Francisco. It is ugly as hell. It has to be the ugliest ballpark I've probably ever been to, but the fans are fucking dope. The atmosphere is amazing. They got the fucking drum corps in the outfield. That shit's so much fun. Like, it's so dope, and it's cheaper. There's parking. That shit's dope. Like, I loved going to A's games.
Okay. So, if I'm going to San Francisco, what are you telling me to do? Like, I need like
go back.
That's fucked up.
No, I'm just playing. What am I telling you to do? Okay, so like
everybody knows I'm going to San Francisco. I'm gonna go see the Golden Gate. I'm gonna go see Alcatraz. Like, hit me with the, like, I lived in San Francisco 2 years. I know what's up.
I don't know what's up. Nah. So how I would describe San Francisco is, at least like coming from LA, it's very picturesque. Like, here, yeah, it's pretty when you go to certain spots or whatever, but like out there, it's a bunch of hills and you're really just in nature. Like, there's so much. It's such a beautiful place because you have the ocean, you have the fucking woods, and you're just on hills, so you have good views of everything. So if I was telling you what to do coming from LA, I would definitely say visit Twin Peaks, which is a really high hill that people go, and there's like a big view of the bay. So it's like looking out over San Francisco, you see the bay, you see the bridge, the Bay Bridge, which connects to Oakland. So then you see out to the East Bay area. So like Oakland, Emeryville, out that way. And that's like a really, really dope place. If you're lucky, you get it without cloud coverage at night. Yeah. So it's like lit up and it's really, really dope. I would say definitely go check that out.
Go ahead.
Nah, go.
I'm gonna assume this is an unpopular opinion, but the Bay Bridge is way better than the Golden Gate Bridge.
I don't know if it's unpopular opinion, but yeah, I agree. And I think I told you this when you went.
Yeah.
So the Bay Bridge is like so much nicer.
That shit is nice. Like it lights up.
It lights up. Christmas time they changed to Christmas lights.
That shit's dope. It's just like the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm assuming it's just like historic and shit.
Yeah, the Golden Gate Bridge is historic and like it's old and the technology that was in it at the time, and it's big and it's cool because you can walk on it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're talking about pretty and looks, the Bay Bridge is much, much prettier.
Yeah, I like the Bay Bridge more.
Also, the Bay Bridge connects to Oakland, which I fucking love Oakland. If I ever had to move back to the Bay Area, I'm not moving to San Francisco because I don't give a shit. I'm going to fucking Oakland. Love that shit.
Okay, so
and finish. Okay. So Twin Peaks. Go to Oakland.
Don't get shot.
Don't get shot. Know where the fuck you're going. I would say go to Muir Woods, which is if you get on the Golden Gate Bridge, you cross over, you can go into the Muir Woods. It's really, really nice. There's some hiking trails. A certain trail gives you a view of Golden Gate from an angle.
You ain't never went hiking, bitch. Stop lying.
Bitch, I went to the Muir Woods. Shut the fuck up. Damn, dog, you're such a hater. You don't know my life?
You're fat. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, but I still did it.
Okay, continue.
What else? So those two are really cool. Obviously, go to Fisherman's Wharf. Get some clam chowder. And then I would say explore the little neighborhoods. So like go to the Mission. Go check it out. There's a lot of really good food spots. That's where the actual burritos were. The Mission style burritos, which is like rice and beans in your burrito and shit.
Yeah.
That's where they originated from. So there's some really cool spots there.
All right, so staying on the topic of food, because you're fat.
You didn't even give me a chance to think, but okay.
What were top food spots and what'd you like, what you didn't like?
Damn, dog. Okay, so.
And was it better than LA?
Is it better than LA? Overall, no. LA still has some of the best food there is, I would say, in the country. Top food spots though, my landlord put me on, and I've been in love with it ever since. But Limon, if you guys ever go to the Bay Area, Limon is my fucking shit. It is a Peruvian place that specializes in like rotisserie chicken, but their drinks, fire. Their appetizers, fire. Lomo saltado, fire. Their seafood rice dish, fucking fire. Their empanadas de queso is the one thing you have to order. Empanadas de queso, fucking amazing. That's like one of my memorable spots that I wish I could have here. Limon. There was a spot. It's a little bit out from San Francisco, but it's a really cool drive if you get there. The place it's in a city called Half Moon Bay. So if you take the drive from San Francisco, you go through this road that goes in between a bunch of really big trees, and it's very like foresty type. Like at night, that shit gets actually really, really dark because the trees cover the light. really dope Italian place that's out there. I think it's called Mezzaluna. Really good spot. Anytime my girlfriend would go up, that was the one place we would go to. Really good seafood. Obviously, you're on the fucking bay. Lobster rolls for days. Clam chowder for days. That shit was bomb. It's actually where sourdough originated from too.
Oh shit, I know that.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge sourdough fan because I didn't really try it before. Having actual sourdough out there, that shit is fucking fire. And then they have a lot of like, you know how they have like craft breweries? They have a lot of like craft ice cream places. I don't know why, and I don't know what the fucking deal with it is, but their ice cream out there is pretty fire. I know that's like a weird one. This is like, but their ice cream is pretty fire, and their Chinese food. So I'm pretty sure you know that they have like a really big ass like Chinatown area, but their Chinese food is really fire, and it's different from here. So you know how here most Chinese food places, like the fast food Chinese places,
It's like Americanized.
yeah, it's Americanized, like fucking Panda Express style. Give me your 2 entrees and a fucking side or whatever.
Yeah.
Out there, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's like even fast food Chinese is still legit Chinese. That's just pretty bomb.
You mentioned like it getting really dark when you're driving and shit. When I went the couple times, that was the scariest shit besides fucking Boston. That shit was scary as fuck to drive over there.
That's just
I
dark,
never
huh?
drove, but like, remember driving up like fucking fog in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Like, can't see shit. People don't know how to drive fucking streets that turn right, but then are somehow going left. You think you're going one way and now you're going the other way, and like that shit was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I guess obviously if you're living there, you get used to it, but like, fuck no, that shit seems so confusing.
Yeah. The roads are crazy because some of them don't go straight or don't end up where you think they are. So that shit took a while to get used to, but yeah, you get used to it. One of the scariest things or moments was I was driving to work, and it's like you said, it gets really, really foggy, but it was raining too. It was raining hard. It had rained pretty hard all night. So I'm driving to work. I get on the freeway, and the fucking freeway is damn near flooded. Like you're driving in, and the water like shook my car. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, where is the drainage system on this bitch? I was fucking scared, bro. I took the streets on my way back home. I was like, I ain't risking that shit. Yeah, dude. I had never in my life had my car shake and turn like skid almost. I was like, oh, fuck no.
Damn.
Anytime it rained from that point on, I just took the streets. Can we go back to food real quick though?
Yeah.
In San Francisco, and specifically in Daly City, it's really, really heavily Filipino. So it's fucked up. I know. But the joke is, do you know the reason why it's so foggy in Daly City?
No.
It's all the rice cookers steaming. Yeah, I know. No, you want to know the worst part? A Filipino older man told me this joke. He was my fucking Uber driver one time, and he goes, "Oh, you're from LA. Oh, you know what the joke about Daly City is, right?" And so he proceeded to tell me the joke, and I didn't want to laugh. He's like, "No, it's okay. It's okay to laugh. I'm telling you this joke because it's literally the joke that everybody knows. Like that's what Daly City is known for. Their big Filipino community, and Filipino food is fucking fire. Okay,
Jollibee?
There is a Jollibee. I've only had their chicken because their spaghetti looks questionable, although people swear by it. Oh, I also had their it's called tocino, which is bacon in Spanish, but it's like pork. It's think of char siu, like the barbecued pork, barbecued Chinese pork. Think of that. Fucking awesome too. But Filipino food is fucking fire. Lumpia Shanghai. Amazing. And I put you on.
You did. Lumpia was pretty fire.
Lumpia's fucking fire. I maybe it's because they have Spanish in them too. So they're technically like our ancestors. They're our blood. But Filipino food is fucking fire. Shout out the homies that I used to work with, whose mama used to cook and make extra for this fat ass. Appreciate you. That chicken adobo is fucking amazing.
Something that changed, it changed for you when you went, and then I went, and you fucking changed me, and it was because of your landlord.
Mm-hmm.
Was sushi.
Yeah.
We started eating sushi.
Yeah.
Because we swore we didn't fuck with sushi, couldn't eat raw fish. And at least when I went, she goes, I don't give a fuck, eat it. And eat it because I said eat it.
Yeah.
And I ate it. That shit was fire.
Yeah. So I've learned to appreciate sushi, and I'm still very picky and iffy about it. If I eat one roll that's not good, I'm never going back to that place. And I don't know. I
stick with what I know.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where the fuck that sushi spot she took us to, but she made me try that fucking raw salmon that was like marinated. That shit was so amazing.
The spicy tuna one.
Yep.
Damn. Yep.
So now I have a spot here that I go to, and it's the only spot I go to. And that shit's far as fuck, so I don't really ever go to it. But I have my one spot in LA. And you're gonna fight me to make me try another place. Still more fucking food. Like I said, I fucking love Oakland. You go to Oakland and you get you some fucking soul food. Okay? Oakland's got bomb fucking food. And if you know my fat ass, you know I love me some fucking soul food. I love my fried chicken. I love my mac and cheese. And they had this barbecue spot that only opened on Sundays. And that shit was amazing.
Sounds like your favorite part of San Francisco was the food.
Yep. That's my favorite part of everywhere I go.
You fat ass. Best thing you did, or like best memory, best experience you had?
Damn.
You need a moment to think?
That's kind of tough, because like after I got over the fact that I was there and like I finally accepted it, I did some cool shit.
So it's just multiple.
Yeah, I mean, I went to my first Giants game, first A's game. You know what was actually really fucking dope that I completely missed, and I said I didn't go to any concerts? I saw Bad Bunny in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
So they opened the new Warriors Stadium, Chase Arena, whatever the fuck they want to call it. And I saw Bad Bunny there for free in a suite. That was pretty fucking cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think I did so much eventually that I wouldn't be able to tell you like that was fucking cool or something. I got my first tattoo up there.
True. You didn't say that. How did you change from the day you left LA to the day you came back? As in viewpoint on life, fucking physically you just got fat, stayed fat. Like
asshole.
Yeah, like how did you fucking yeah.
Well, like I said, I hated the idea that I had to be there. Like I fucking hated not knowing anybody, not being around the people that I wanted to be around. I couldn't go out anywhere because of parking. Like if I was at my house past 4 p.m., I was parking fucking 2-3 hills away, and that shit was a bitch. But like, I just hated not being able to do shit, not knowing anybody, not feeling comfortable. And so I was stuck alone for a lot of the time. Like, I was just stuck in my room. I had my fucking like Netflix and that shit going on, and that was it. Like, it was just me in my room. So you have a lot of time to reflect, I guess, like reflect on everything, on life, on yourself, on a lot of shit. So one of the biggest things was it forced me to look at myself. Like, being away from everybody, like, you're literally on your own. Like, I literally was on my own. I didn't know anybody. Like, my landlords ended up becoming really good friends of mine. Like, I consider them family now.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, it's like, it's just you. And I guess it made me look back on like how I was around everybody here. Like, you don't appreciate shit until it's taken away from you, and until you're just like, damn, I actually missed this, or like I missed that, or like even just like having you come into my room and just sit on the chair, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? It's like, leave already. Yeah. It's like, well, nobody's coming into my room now. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. Like, you just learn to appreciate shit. At least for me, like, it forced me to be like, okay, I value this and I value that, because your resources are limited. You don't have the luxury of being like here in your comfort zone. Yeah. Like, you really learn about yourself. And at least for me, like, I knew I took a lot of shit for granted. So it was like, when I came back, I think I was more conscious of like my relationships with people and shit like that.
Okay. When you were over there, was there, like, besides the people and having shit to do and like all that, was there anything you missed about, I guess, home or like LA?
Well, besides like the people and shit like that, yeah. Like I mentioned, I couldn't drive at night because you would come back to no parking. Oh. So until I got to that level of comfort with my landlords, where I'm be like, y'all hook me up and like move your car back, move your car up, and I'll take the driveway a little bit. Like, I wasn't doing anything. Like, even if it was just to get food, it was like, well, Postmate that shit because it's already too late. I definitely missed that. Another thing was, I think you saw it, and there's no real fast food out there.
Oh, fuck, I know.
So, like, that late night, I just want a quick, like, little McChicken or some chicken nuggets real quick, because I'm just trying to get this meal in and fucking continue doing what I gotta do. That shit wasn't available.
And when it is, it's fucking expensive as shit.
Yeah, so there's no such thing as a dollar menu. I am still convinced that shit tastes different, too. That shit does not taste the same. I don't know what the fuck it is, but that shit does not taste the same. So yeah.
All I remember is like $30 fucking Pizza Hut and shit, because there's not any around there. I was just like, what the fuck?
That's right. There is no Pizza Hut. What else did I miss? Low-key, like, I missed having shit available to me, like, close by. It felt like everything out there was farther out. Like, you had to go farther out of your way for shit. Okay. Whereas, like, here, it's like, oh, here, there's a fucking CVS on the corner. There's a Walgreens right there. There's a Target. There's a Walmart. Yeah. There's also no Walmart in San Francisco. I don't know if you knew that.
I do remember that. I remember your landlord having to order like once a month, a big ass fucking order.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no Walmart in San Francisco. There's also no Chick-fil-A.
No Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I think that's the main things that I missed.
The
freedom.
from like my experience when I went out there, I think I went out there a couple times for like a weekend or stuff.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of these things. Like
what?
Like there was times where you would go to work or whatever because I was at your place and it's like, whoa, let me see what the fuck I can do like around here and like, you know, like
yeah.
nothing. Like you couldn't walk down the street to go get fucking ice cream. You couldn't even do anything. If you did go down the street, good luck getting back up. Like,
yeah, I legit lived at the peak of the hill, and that last street to go up was a fucking bitch.
Yeah, and then like Postmates and all of that's fucking expensive as shit.
Yep.
It's just like, damn.
Also, right now, because I had a park that was literally the front street. Remember?
Yeah.
That's just right in front. Most of the parks out there don't have lights for the nighttime. So there was one park that was a little ways away. It's fairly close, but that was like the only one that had lights.
Oh, shit.
So you couldn't go to the park at night. Well, obviously being in San Francisco, you saw that shit can get dark quick.
Fuck yeah. I think I'm running out of questions, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to hit that I didn't?
I mean, we covered most of it.
I mean, who asked you about this shit?
Well, I mean, I can't really say that.
Okay, well,
but
is there something you think they would want to hear that?
Not particularly. Let's see. What else can I think of that was different? Playing sports out there is very different to playing sports out here. So,
in what way?
So like I said, a lot of parks don't have lights.
And are we talking about like youth sports or
adult
like
sports?
Okay.
Adult sports. I'll touch on both because being in that household, they had 2 kids. One was just starting out playing like baseball and shit. So adult sports, it's tough because they only have seasons during certain times, but they have leagues set up where you can just sign up and say you want to play and they'll put you on a team. So that's pretty cool compared to here. Like
to here, you have to have a team.
Yeah, that was cool. Youth sports, you don't see much of. Really? So a lot of their organized youth sports are coming from schools. So like middle school has their basketball team and then they're playing other middle schools, which is a little different. Like here you have the youth sports sign up and shit like that. So they don't have too much of that out there. At least I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. One thing that's pretty cool is that they have a giant park in the middle of their city. Golden Gate Park. That shit's fucking massive, and they got bison. Which was gangster.
Do you want to go back? Is there friendships you still have, relationships you still keep with people from up there? How has it been now that you're back? Do you miss San Francisco?
You know what? I wouldn't say I miss San Francisco per se. I miss the people. Okay. Like I definitely still have relationships with people that are out there. Like I said, I met some really, really dope people. Some people that are just, I've mentioned that I went to New Orleans, right? So the wedding that I went to was for a buddy of mine that I met out there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's enough to tell you, you got invited to the wedding. Like that's a big deal, especially it being such a small wedding. Like these are people that are like I'm really close to now. Yeah. So it was my buddy's wedding. Another one it was 3 of us that got really close, so they went as well. My landlords, like I said, they're like family now, so I've seen them a couple times since leaving. And what else? I had some other coworkers that I still talk to and shit. One of them I was supposed to give a shout out to, completely forgot. Shout out Princess.
Shout out Princess.
It's not actually her name, but
Sure no.
she's a fucking princess. Jesus Christ. Also, her daughter doesn't like me for some reason. She took her into work one day, and I had a toy. I was trying to play with her, like be cool. Yeah, she started yelling and ran the fuck away from me. Yeah, there's, like I said, I met some really fucking cool people. Shout out Bobby.
Shout out Bobby.
He's a producer that I met out there that hopefully is gonna be the DJ for my mom's 50th.
What's up, Bobby? When you coming on the podcast, though?
Yeah, I met some really cool people, dude. So
That's cool.
what else is different? Oh, you know what? There's raccoons up the ass out there.
I remember those.
Yeah. So for a while, okay, I mentioned that the houses are like right next to each other, right? Like they're basically sharing a wall.
Yeah.
So our backyard was trees. It was like a little baby forest. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So that backyard is like a little baby forest. My front yard is a street and then a park. So I didn't have any neighbors to the front of us or behind us for that matter.
Yeah.
So we would get raccoons that fucking crawl in between the houses to get to the other side. Now, if that raccoon is too fat, they get stuck. Mama raccoons tend to be too fat and they get stuck. So I had baby raccoons right outside of my window living there for a little bit till animal control came and got them.
Oh, shit.
1, baby raccoons, cute as fuck. 2, San Francisco City raccoons don't give a fuck. Dude, there was one raccoon that came out. I heard honking and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? My landlord had gotten home, flashing her lights, honking the horn. Fucking raccoon is looking at her like, it's my house now. Sprayed water at it, threw bottles at it. That shit was not going. It like peek its head back into the bushes and then come back out like, are you done yet?
Like, what's up?
It's my turf now. Yeah, so hella raccoons. So
When they get stuck in the wall, like they just stayed there and died, or what the
yeah.
fuck? Damn.
So you get a really bad smell and you like either have to call animal control or just wait for that shit to go away.
That sucks.
Yeah. Luckily it only happened once in my time out there. But yeah, shit nasty.
Can I get one famous YAYYY area call out?
One famous YAYYY area call out?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the famous little yell.
YAYYY area.
That's all I need. You can. Do you say you're from the Bay now?
Nah, hell no. I can't rep that
you
shit.
You claim the Bay?
No. I will say that Bay Area people are really proud to be Bay Area people. Like, that's for sure, like, ingrained in me. Like, these fools are proud, and that shit's dope.
Even
like,
when you're not from the Bay Area, you're from the Bay.
Yeah.
I've seen those TikToks, too.
Even if you're not from the Bay, you're from the Bay. Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty dope. Oh, they have a beach in San Francisco. They have a beach in San Francisco. Don't ever go to the beach in San Francisco. The water is ice fucking cold.
Oh, shit.
Plus, it's windy, so the fucking sand goes everywhere. And that shit sucks.
Is there something in San Francisco that you didn't do that you like?
Alcatraz. I spent 2 years out there and I didn't go to Alcatraz.
How? I want to go there.
So you have to get a reservation like months in advance because that shit's fucking packed or whatever. But I didn't end up going. And partially because I didn't have enough time to plan out when somebody was going to go visit me. And
you didn't want to go alone?
Yeah, fuck no. And I didn't really have anybody to go with, so
should have done the night tour.
I want to, but yeah, like I said, nobody to go with and couldn't plan for somebody that was gonna come in advance. Yeah, I don't know. I think
that's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that I will say is San Francisco is very. I mean, I know they say it all the time, but like techie. It's like the tech bros and shit. And you see that more when you go into like downtown and shit. It's very, very like hipster tech bro. Whereas here you get a lot more diversity. And you can really see what the fuck is it called? When they go into the neighborhoods and start taking over.
Gentrification?
Yeah, that bitch. You can really see the gentrification there. Like you go into the different neighborhoods and you can see it. Like you can see the gentrification happening and like spreading into areas where you knew that shit was not like that before. Like you can tell. And it's kind of sad because you lose some of the authenticity of what the Bay Area is. And if you talk to a lot of older people that live there, like my landlords, for example, they tend to agree. They're like, sometimes you're starting to lose the soul of what San Francisco was.
Actually, I do remember that. Because I remember one time, which was cool. Like, your landlords were really cool. A lot, like I said, sometimes you would go out to work all day and shit. And they would take me out. And I remember going...
They took you out?
Yeah.
Damn.
They would, like, take me out into the city. And, like, they would go do their errands or whatever. And they're just like, come with us. So they would take me to, like, the non-touristy spots. You know, like the places where you fucking... They're like, oh, yeah, I used to live here. I used to live there. Like, my husband there and this and that. And it's like, this used to be this and that. And I remember her saying something like that where, like, San Francisco's changing and it's not the same as it used to be. And, like, I remember that conversation. Yeah.
Like, you can really tell. Like I said, San Francisco is very small. I think, I don't quote me on it, but I believe somebody told me it was like 7 square miles of actual San Francisco. And you can just tell. You can see it for yourself, like, as you go through it. But that's one thing that kind of struck me, like, damn, that kind of sucks, because it's true. Like, you lose what the city used to be.
Yeah.
And that's dope. I mean, it was funny. I was driving with my landlord one time, and she goes, oh, yeah, these are the projects. I was like, these are the fucking projects? Like, yo, how much are these running for? Because I'm about to move out.
Damn.
But, yeah, I would say that San Francisco and the Bay Area in general is a really, really dope place to visit. Like, if you want a vacation for a little bit, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Like, the water, the ocean, the fucking hills, the forest, that shit is so nice. There's a ton of things to do, and it's a change of pace coming from LA. Okay. Would you live there? Fuck no, that's just expensive.
If you could go back and not go, would you do it? Or like,
nah, I think I would still do it. I think, like, in retrospect, I'm sure my life would be completely different than what it is now. But I don't think I'd be the same person if I hadn't left.
Okay.
Like, I think I needed that
escape kind of thing.
Not necessarily escape.
Getaway.
Like, I don't even want to call it a getaway, but like, I needed that.
Vete la chingada.
Sort of. Like, I don't know. I needed that true independence to, like, really focus and, like, put a lot of shit into perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that shit just, it made shit make sense.
Okay.
Like, and I don't think I would have ever got to that point had I not left. Like I said before, like, it made me appreciate a lot of shit. It made me look at things differently. Like, it it wouldn't have happened had I stayed here.
Okay. Well, that's it for me. I don't know. You got anything else?
Nah, that's it. I mean, if you guys ever want to like know more about it or ask me shit, feel free. If you guys are going up there and need shit, like where to go eat or what doing shit, hit me up. I'm gonna end this on the food side because I'm fat as fuck and it just came to my mind. You know what they have that we don't?
What?
And part of why it really fucked with the sandwiches? Dutch crunch bread.
Which is?
I don't know. But it's Dutch crunch bread. So you get your sandwich and you get it on Dutch crunch. It's like this, I don't know, the outside of that bread is like, it looks like it's broken up like stripes. But it's super crunchy and I don't know what the fuck it is or how they get it that way, but I've never seen it in LA and that shit is fucking fire.
What are you calling this podcast? Is there a San Francisco song?
I'm sure there's a lot of them. But this isn't my episode. It's just the episode of San Francisco.
What's your episode on your experience in San Francisco?
Well, yeah, but it's not about me. It's not like when I interviewed you.
Well, true, but still, you're going to come up with the title.
Well, yeah, I always come up with a title, but I don't know. I don't know yet. What's that? I think there's an old song. I think it's Sitting on the Dock or Dock on the Bay or some shit.
I don't know. I just think of E40.
Ooh. Put some Mac Dre. I don't know. Oh, did I? E40. I talked to E40 through a video call.
The fuck?
Yeah. While I was working, some guy walked in. He said, I know E40. No, he said, I know Earl. My friend Earl would love this. And we're like, okay. He goes, I'm going to call him. He called his friend Earl. He goes, Earl, what's up? Look, I think these hats are dope. You'll like them. He goes, oh, yeah, those are fly. Flips the phone into E40. Like, hey, you could have said E40, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's Earl.
It's Earl. All right. That's the fucking podcast. Hit him with the social.
Instagram and Twitter at Garcia74_.
Instagram and Twitter at the plus size assassin, 1S and plus size. Peace.